This has got to be the best home shopping network I've ever watched. Isn't this great? So yeah, anyway, I'm over here. Look at this. Excuse me. I don't know. I've been cleaning and uh, organizing comics, putting comics away, emptying off the shelves, putting toys away and stuff, and making videos. And or not really making videos. I'm making one now, but most of this stuff on the table, there's a couple new things, but everything here, these are all figures that I don't have packaging or boxes for to put them back into to put them away in the closet because I like to, I show this a lot or I talk about it, maybe not a lot. Excuse me, I just took like a big swig of hot coffee and right before I started this. Anyway, yeah, I like to put my stuff away. That's my part of the thing. It's part of the whole deal. Um, just talking about it the other day. It's part of the whole deal. And so I'm in constant states of organization of how I want to put things away and where I want to put things and where, you get it. So this stuff on this table here that I took down last night, uh, it doesn't have boxes, most of it, except for, the couple new figures that we've seen recently, like Rock Python and Iron Man Mark 70. But all this other stuff, even Mr. Fantastic, because he came in, even though he's a new figure, he came in damaged packaging, and so I just ended up throwing it away because it was ripped and dented or broken the plastic bubble when I got it. And Black Panther, one of our newest figures, which is he's a great figure, but he came in that no plastic packaging. He came in this little box of paper and cardboard, and they don't store or stack the same way as the other the other packages. So there was no reason to keep the box he came in. It was ill shaped, ill looking, and it was ripped and dented in, and so I threw it away. So now we have these figures that all don't have boxes or they don't have any place to go except be out on display. So these are our permanent display figures unless I find a really good uh, carrying case or uh, something to put them in, which is what I'm always looking for, right? I'm always looking for organization. Okay, and hey, don't worry, guys. Look at some new stuff here. That's that new Maleficent. I guess she's a Barbie. I don't know. We have to look at the package. She also came in that plastic free packaging, which is a good thing. Like my friend said yesterday, it's a good thing because toy collectors are making the sun hotter with our plastic packaging. But this is Tars Tarkus. Whoa, that was shaky. Anyway, this is that Tars Tarkus, that John Carter Warlord of Mars statue mixed media figure. It's really big. Like I don't know how tall it is. We haven't measured it, but there's a 6 scale figure. That's the John Carter figure that goes with it. So, like up here, look at this. These are the DC figures, and they don't have any place to go. Their packaging is long, long gone. These were bought way back in the old days, before I was even a toy collector. I was just buying toys because my kids wanted to play with them, I guess. How silly is that? Let's look at this. So here's an example of what I'm doing right now and kind of always doing is I like, one of the things that I'm starting to collect and that I like to collect are action figure carrying cases. All right. And also Barbie carrying case. I've got a couple of them and we'll look at them too. Because I really like organizing my stuff and putting it away in the right place. So even though I don't have any of these, I think I do have a couple of them, but they're in a box in the closet, and I haven't even gotten back into there to get that organized yet. But this, but not this closet, the back closet. There's multiple closets in this house, and only one of them looks halfway organized. There's three. Superpowers collection. I don't have any of these figures in here, but I did get this. I bought it empty for cheap because I wanted. Well, this is pretty neat, isn't it? I haven't even looked at this. Just got it like last week or week before. So I got it for this because I had these 3.75 inch, and then like this old, what is this, Toy Biz? Just a few old toys from like the 90s and the early 2000s, I guess is what these are from. But I wanted someplace and some way to organize them instead of just having them like in a cardboard box or inside of like a Tupperware container, or I don't know. It just looks cooler. Isn't this neat? You know, this way my grandson, I can be like, hey, you want to play with some superheroes? Or he'll be like, can I play with some superheroes, Grandpa? I'll pull these superheroes out for him to play with. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Organization key. And on the other side, we have more stuff. I guess we could have looked at those figures. They're pretty cool figures. Same thing over here. More of this stuff. And then just more figures. Except these are like more DC ones over here. There's a Supergirl, Green Lantern. There's Deimos and the Warlord. Deimos and the Warlord. The Warlord. He looks like he's drawn by Wayne Boring. An old Batman figure. Green Lantern, Sinestro. An old Hulk figure. And who's that? Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. See, isn't that a nice selection of small action figures for a kid to play with? Over here we have Captain America. Very nice little figures. These are a little under 4 inches tall. We have Thor. This really cool Hercules figure. It's a really nice figure. I like that Hercules. That's our guy, the Silver Surfer. Baron Zemo. Baron Zemo. The Incredible Hulk. This is a really nice Hulk figure. And this is about 4 inches, I would say. It's kind of a perfect Hulk figure. Very nice. All of this fits inside of my new Superpowers collection carrying case. So now I'm looking for carrying cases of the Marvel variety and also a DC one, but I know I'm not going to find a DC one. So I might just have to go with like, I don't know, like Star Trek The Next Generation or something like that. From Galoob. Might get one of those cases because they're really inexpensive and they're pretty good sized enough because like the Star Trek figures were just a little smaller than this. They were like 5 inches and these are 6 inches. So there's that. And then also though, I'm pretty sure that Toy Biz put out some carrying cases for those Spider-Man figures in the early and mid 90s. Even the late 90s, there might be some X-Men cases from the X-Men, the animated series. All those figures are just a little bit smaller than what we're looking at here, except for these big giant ones like that Juggernaut or this Hulk or that Venom right there, or maybe the Titanium Man. But everybody else, or Colossus, he's big too, but everybody else would fit pretty well inside one of those old action figure cases. So I'm going to look for one of those Spider-Man ones, maybe a Secret Wars. You never know, but those would be small. If Secret Wars would have a small case. So we need some place to put these guys. So we're going to find a figure carrying case if we can here in the next week or two. Get it organized. Was there anything else that I was bobbling on about, talking about? These are all great figures. Sometimes I just stumble across these like by chance, and other times they've been in they're brand new, and like what I'm saying is sometimes they've been in the collection forever. Like this Wolverine figure. I can't remember whether this was purchased new in the package for one of my kids or whether one of my kids got this loose at a comic convention, because we used to go to comic conventions in Sacramento like every 3 months. They used to have a quarterly 4 time a year comic convention in Sacramento, California, and they just remember the good old days. This was even before cosplay. This was like at the beginning of anime. It was at the beginning of, there was just starting to be all this Japanese merchandise and the teenage girls, jumping around dressed like Pikachu. It was all new. It was all new. But at that time, back in the old days, you might remember, at many of these booths at comic conventions, there would just be an open cardboard box of loose figures, and it might be 3 for $10. So I'm pretty sure, if not positive, that's where this Wolverine figure came from. And that's also where this really great Doctor Doom figure came from, with a modified gun. The gun was broken and I fixed it. Also this Hulk. This Hulk also came from a comic convention. I think he was $8 loose, just like this. And this is kind of a difficult Hulk to get, if I remember right. He was only available in a 2-pack where he was fighting up against the Leader. I think that's the case here. That's a really neat figure. It's one of my favorite Hulks. So now, even though I have a newer Hulk, one of those Marvel Select ones, this Hulk I think looks perfectly fine with all this other stuff. And look how perfectly he scales with. This is what I love about Marvel Legends. So if you're a kid if you were a kid growing up reading Marvel comics, there were things about Marvel that were different than DC, and there was just something about it. Anyway, they were very particular about certain things, like the stories took place in real cities, and the characters had defining characteristics. Like Wolverine in the comic books is supposed to be 5'4" or 5'3", and the Hulk is supposed to be 7.5 feet tall. So look at that. It's perfect. Right? It's just as it should be. Wolverine looks at the exact right height as you would expect him to look next to the Incredible Hulk, who should be 7 or 8, maybe 9 feet tall. It depends. You kind of get the feeling that sometimes there's a little bit of give, a little leeway there at the Hulk, because the madder he gets, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. So you might think that maybe if the angrier he may get, he might become bigger and more powerful. This is just great stuff. If this existed when I was a kid, I would be really happy. Not that I wasn't. I was obviously very happy with the toys that were being made in the 70s and the 80s, and really mostly the 70s, that I was playing with, that I played with. I loved the Mego, Marvel, and DC superheroes, but this stuff, you have to admit, is superior. Yeah, I love the colors. I love the design. I love the ability that Hasbro and Toy Biz here and Marvel Select. I like how they haven't strayed too far from the actual creative design of the artists and comic creators of old. In a way, you can almost see a little influence in everything here, from artistically, as what we're looking at. I'm not a huge fan of this style of Fantastic Four costume. I prefer the lighter blue with the black gloves and collar, but the designers of these toys might have found that to be too bland. I need to turn Molly Martin is. Jeez, Molly, why are you so loud? Shut up. Speaking of shutting up, I've shot 2 videos for this John Carter of Mars figure that you see back here, and his buddy Tars Tarkas, the Thark. But both videos, I rewatched them last night, and I just decided I didn't like either one. Just like this video I'm making right now, will probably be canned and no one is going to watch it. You guys are not going to see this. But I promise, Tars Tarkas is coming soon. I know that some of you might be waiting for this because you haven't seen it yet, because I'm telling you, it's not very common. I didn't realize that it wasn't very common until I pulled it out 2 days ago or 3 days ago when I started this. And let me show you. Hold on, I got to move some stuff out of the way, and hopefully nothing will. Anyway, you can probably almost see it from here. Anyway, when I unpacked it the other day and started taking pictures of it and started filming it and making short, trying to make a video, but it just wasn't coming together. I wasn't happy with how it was turning out. And that happens sometimes. You just have to go back to it and just have to do it again. Wait a couple days or just to wait a couple hours, just depends. Anyway, this is what I'm trying to get to. So I get it out of the box and I find out and I realize, oh crap, they only made 100 of these. And I have number 11. And I didn't even remember that, you guys. That's how my mind works. And it's from 2009. I thought it was from 2014. It's even older than I thought. So we have an early numbering of this Tars Tarkas quarter scale mixed format figure in a low production run. They only made 100 worldwide, and we have number 11. Pretty impressive, isn't it? Isn't it, Tars Tarkas? So I think it's only deserving that we make the video that we do of this guy, and also the John Carter figure that didn't come with the Tars Tarkas, but was made by the same company at the same time, and they look really good together. If I could move this stupid Beta Ray Bill figure out of here. I guess what we're doing is a preview for the upcoming Tars Tarkas John Carter Warlord of Mars video that is yet to be produced, because the ones I already made kind of suck. Anyway, this is him. He looks pretty good. He's a little skinny and he looks a little bit too much like Christian Bale, which is kind of weird. In 2009, I don't know. Was Christian Bale popular? Maybe who's this? The Mechanic? No, that wasn't it. The Welder. What was that movie where he lost like 100 pounds? Anyway, this is supposed to be John Carter. It's not terrible. It's not awful, but it's not great. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But this I do love, right? And so this guy, if you put him in a pose that doesn't draw too much attention to him, and try and make it more about Tars Tarkas, if you don't notice John Carter so much, the whole thing comes together more, in my opinion. So yeah, here he is. He's got 4 arms, which all come off, and he's in about 6 or 8 parts, I forget, and in a giant box and packaged away in foam. Now that I have him out, he's going to be staying out. I just need to find the perfect spot for him here in John Carter, and I want to start making a little John Carter Warlord of Mars display, probably in that cabinet over there, the one where you can see Robin and Robin's motorcycle inside of it, and that Robo, I don't know what that is, I forget the name of it. It's an anime from Japan. That vinyl, the red one, and then Plastic Man, that whole area. I think that's where we're going to put Tars Tarkas and John Carter in there, and we're going to light it. I've got these lights that I already own, and we'll put the lights in there, and maybe I don't know what we'll see. We'll maybe try and make a diorama or a backdrop or something. That would be cool, wouldn't it? If I get creative and try and do something, it's possible, isn't it? I mean, that's what we're doing right now, getting creative. Not really trying to do anything, though. Oh. Last night, yesterday we were talking about Terrifier again. This movie keeps coming up. Anyway, first, I can't remember where I first heard about it, but then my son the other day, or maybe a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, he messages me, Jude and I were getting ready to watch Terrifier and Terrifier 2. And I messaged him back, yeah, I saw those. Those are really good. So I've watched them a bunch. And what happens sometimes when I watch Terrifier? So last night we talked about it, and I was reminded of it, and I couldn't remember whether it was Terrifier 1 or Terrifier 2 that starts with the with them with those girls inside of that pizza parlor. And I guess it was Terrifier 1, and it was because I started rewatching it again last night. And I fell asleep right here on the couch during during the uh, during the pizza parlor scene. I fell asleep. It was like this awesome scene, and that's like the best. That's what I turned it on to watch the movie for, and I fell asleep. And then I woke up at like 5 a.m. and the TV was still on, and like two or three movies had played all the way through, and it was on this movie called the Bunny Massacre Murders or something like that. Yeah. So, no bad dreams though, and so I think that's 3 times now. I think this is the third time that I have fallen asleep on the couch while watching Terrifier, Terrifier 2, or what was the first one? I always forget the title of the first one, the first Art the Clown movie, right? I like them all, but they all kind of meld, mix together because in my senior advanced age, certain things just kind of mold, mix, and meld together. It's hard to explain, but I don't remember stuff the way I used to. Okay, what is this? Is he still with the clowns? You guys ever watch old Home Shopping Network? Not a lot of people do, but this is good ambient background. You know, this is something nice to have on in the background when you're murdering people. You guys want to walk around and look at stuff? We're at 22 minutes. We might as well make this a 30-minute episode. What do you guys want to? All right, let's start here. We have low lighting, but let's just do it. Cherokee people, Cherokee tribe, so proud to live, so proud to die. R.I.P. Harambe. Let's talk about what everything is. You know, this is Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine, and that is a Make America Great Again hat from President Donald Trump. This is the Marx Toys Chief Cherokee figure from 1967, and that horse is called Stormcloud. This is my chair for President Trump. He's currently been transformed into a frog by Magica De Spell. But that frog is actually Donald Trump. That's Mr. Chimp. You guys ever play with Mr. Chimp? Remember Mr. Chimp? It's a motorized chimpanzee. He'll be your friend. You can look him up on YouTube and watch a video of the commercial. This is Harambe. Remember him? This is Sir Gordon, not Sir Golden. Sir Gordon, the Gold Knight by Marx Toys. This Spider-Man model that I made about 10 years ago. And I hung it up here. Looks pretty good. It's made to be hung on the wall. That's a Pinder Circus van. Look at this. This is my Mad Max car. You know, if you guys are interested and you want to see a really cool diecast car, even if you don't even collect diecast cars, this is one that's worth buying and checking out. It's made by this company called Greenlight, and it's called Last of the V8 Interceptors. When they made this car, they didn't have the licensing for Mad Max or Road Warrior, so they just called the car Last of the V8 Interceptors, and it's a perfect replica of the car from Road Warrior, from the second movie. And maybe, I guess, the first movie too, but I think this is supposed to be the car from the Road Warrior. Isn't this nice? So I would recommend this car. It's not even very expensive. It's like $10 or something, maybe if that. So it's worth getting if you are collecting these cars, or if you like the Road Warrior. Who doesn't like the Road Warrior? All these Marvel covers came from a couple, 2-3 years of Marvel calendars. They used to do this thing. Remember the old? It's been a long time, but Marvel used to make these large calendars that were just nothing but classic covers, and they did it for about 2 or 3 or 4 years in a row. And this particular format with these large ones, I got them all, or as many as I could, and I saved them all and used them as wallpaper around here. And they need to be fixed and tacked up to make they're a little bit lay flatter and look better, but I think it looks okay. I'm happy with it. Let's look at some more cars. I don't know have we looked at this stuff before. I think we have. I like these slam shifters. It looks like Hollywood Squares has started with Peter Marshall. These are just certain cars that I've kept in the packaging that I like. You know? Where should we go? I don't know. Oh man, there's George Gobel. All right, let's just go here. Light's not that great, but we've been kind of just going with the light the whole time. This is a Green Arrow action figure that was made to look like the Arrow from the television show. This is an unlicensed figure that came out a long time ago, like when the show was still popular and still on TV. I really liked it. I liked the show, and then I also really liked this, put up by a company called 3Q. It's this thing here on this leg, slipping down. I also really liked this figure. I thought it was pretty good, pretty cool. And this is, it's again some sort of unlicensed, or I don't know. Anyway, Batman. Another Batman. This Batman on the right, I think that's Val Kilmer. That came from a Christmas party. A white elephant gift Christmas party. Remember those work parties? Do they still do those? Anyway, it was a work party one year. It was a Christmas party for my ex-wife's work. And we went to this party, and it was always really nice parties anyway. So it was a really nice party at a really nice country club, and they had a white elephant, where that white elephant gift exchange. This was there, man. This was in a box, and I got it. And somebody almost stole it from me. You know how you do that thing where there's this stealing that goes back and forth, like, can't remember exactly how it happened. Somebody might have stole it from me, and then it might have been my wife's turn at the end, or towards the end, and she stole it back from me. I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. And that's why I have it. But I mean, can you imagine who would put, that's a white elephant gift? Yeah, it was in the garage, just sitting on the shelf or something. I hated that thing. Couldn't wait to get rid of it. So I took it and gave it as a white elephant gift at work. Thank God I got it. All right, this is a doofy looking Captain America. That's a Captain Action Captain America. You know, so remember how what Captain Action does, right? We're almost out of time. Anyway, what Captain Action does is makes these, you know, these outfits or whatever costumes that go over a doofy looking figure, and then sometimes they're kind of doofy looking themselves. Look at how doofy his face is. So because this Captain America mask is doofy looking, this is my choice of how to pose this figure at currently it looks like this, but it's not bad. But I think that I'll probably make eventually maybe an action pose wouldn't be bad with him holding the shield up over his head or something. All right, thanks for watching, you guys. Like, see, look, this is a much better Captain America action figure than that one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace out.